engaging first, okay? Just quickly come to the chat boxes and just write one of your strongest trait, whatever comes to your mind instinctively. I mean, just don't put much thought into it. Whatever comes to your mind, just come to the chat boxes and write down. So one word, which defines the strongest trait in you. Just let it come instinctively. Do not put much thought into it. Don't let your your thinking mode bias your thoughts. Don't let them get clouded. And just one word that comes instinctively to you. Just share in the chat box the strongest trait that you feel is there in your personality.
Ma'am, we have a response in the chat box. Have you asked a question?
Yes.
Okay, we have an answer by Arkaza Garg. You can just go to your Google Meet whenever you are, ma'am, communicating with the participant. You can just go to your Google Chrome, and therein you can see, since your entire screen is shared.
Yes.
There you can see the answers.
Yeah. Great. So I'm not getting any response. Come on, come to the chat boxes. Yeah, trust. Yes, exactly. Whatever. I mean, whatever comes to your mind instinctively. The strongest trait. You know, when we search for something which is powerful inside us, it automatically puts us into an abundance mindset. So just look within and just one word. Don't let your judgmental mind overtake. Persistent, yes. Arkaja Garg writes persistent. Having certain attitudes, great. Emotions. Dr. Sadhna says emotion is something which is the strongest in her. Right. Great. So basically, the point of this asking was that when you look for something, inside, which is strong in you, then what happens is we automatically get into a mindset which is positive, right? We get into a abundance mindset. This is now, no, what is happening? This is not moving now. Yeah. Right. So there are different ways to do a thing, right? There are multiple ways, multiple perspectives to understand a thing. Now, if we keep on doing the same thing in the same manner, it is going to give us the same results, right? If we want to really change something within us, then we need to change something in our perspective. So we are going to learn about leadership. We are going to share certain thoughts about leadership with a new perspective today, right? Let me give you a prompt for that. What do you think? Who are they?
They're leaders in their own areas.
Yeah. Leaders in their own areas, exactly. Why are you calling them leaders? Because they're famous? They're popular?
Not exactly because they're famous, but because they have that skill set to lead a team in their own areas.
Okay. What do you think is that skill set?
Just give me a second, I will let you know.
They are leaders because they inspire us, right?
Yes.
They are leaders because they help us to grow. They are leaders because they motivate us, right? And they are leaders because they have helped us to take those certain decisions in life which had helped us in our overall improvement. They have created that change in the society. They have created that environment which has helped to influence so many people in a very positive way, right? And that is the reason they are the leaders. Now let me know, who are they? What do you think? They are also leaders, right? They are also leaders. We just discussed leaders help to grow. Leaders help us to inspire, right? Leaders are the one who take decisions. Don't we take decisions? We do take decisions on everyday basis, right? Whether it is a decision to eat, to drink, where to go, where not to go, to major life decisions, where to invest, which job to take over, where to put your money into, how to motivate people around us, right? So don't we take those decisions? We do take those decisions in life, and that is the reason we all are leaders. So first realization we need to have is that we all are leaders in our own ways. Agree or not agree? Is being famous the only prerequisite for being a leader? No. Leaders are the people who inspire others. Leaders are the people who help others to bring in a growth mindset. Leaders are the people who motivate, who bring in that change in the society. So being famous is not the only prerequisite for being a leader. So first we need to have a realization for that, that being popular is not being a leader. A leader is a person who brings upon a change. You know, in life, we either get led or we lead people. Leaders are not those people who create more followers. Leaders are those people who create more leaders. And how do you create more leaders? By motivating people to take charge and to bring upon that change, right? Now tell me, why do you think we need leadership skills? Why? Why? What is the reason that we would need leadership skills for? Anyone? We need leadership skills to create a better version of ourselves. We need leadership skills to be better than how we were yesterday. We need leadership skills so that we can inspire more, motivate more, and create more of change in the society, can be more effective, can be more energetic, can be more confident, right? Also, we need leadership skills so that we make best use of our energy, our wisdom, and create that change in the world. We all are, mostly, we all are sitting here are coaches and teachers, right? Irrespective of the hierarchical position. We all are here to inspire the youth, right? From a peon to a principal, and from a peon to a pauper, everybody is a leader, like we just discussed. So now, being teachers, we are in a role to motivate the youth that is going to take the pace of this world. You know, it is just like how a person makes pottery. You set the rough dough into something, and whatever shape that rough dough takes, it gets molded into it. So we are the makers of the society. And as we get into more challenging roles with more responsibility, you know, they say with more power comes more responsibility. So as teachers, when we get into more I would say responsible roles, more powerful roles, even outside our classrooms, like roles to of organizing and ensuring the smooth running of your administration department, or being the top notch person of your institute, or taking the role of a coach, of a mentor, and taking other administrative roles and responsibilities and positions in your organization, we do need leadership skills so that we are able to influence more, motivate more, and create more of difference. Till now, over the past few years, in the last 50 years, I would say, we have read and kind of perceived leadership from various leadership styles, right? We have read about it, we have experienced it. Like there is autocratic leadership, there is authoritative leadership, and other leadership styles. Autocratic leadership is the leadership style where a leader is the person who calls his shots. He is the person who gives direction and rest of the people follow his direction. He doesn't give any scope to anybody to kind of put across his views. Authoritative leadership is a leadership where a leader gives a little space to other people to pitch in and is open to their viewpoint also. Then there is democratic leadership, where a leader is always open to ideas from his team. In a coaching style leadership, a leader is more into inspiring and mentoring his team. Affiliative leadership is a kind of a leadership style where a leader is emotionally more invested with his team. And there then is laissez-faire leadership style where a leader gives the entire responsibility of running the institute, the organization to his team with the least amount of interference from them. Now, all these leadership styles we have seen over the past 50 years, but these leadership styles does not work in today's world. Whatever used to work 50 years back is not conducive now. In fact, whatever used to work 3 years back is not applicable now after the hit of pandemic. There has been such a massive shift in terms of the organization culture, organization needs, organization demands, and also the organizational mindset. So that is the reason that we need to also evolve with the evolving time. Now is an ever-changing time where everything is changing constantly in today's world. From normal telephone, we have come to chat GPT, right? So the technology is changing every day. The earlier leaders could at least, kind of depend on some amount of stability. But it is not possible for the leaders today because everything in today's world is constantly changing. It's constantly evolving. And so our leadership also needs to evolve with time. We also need to adapt ourselves to the need of the day. And that is the reason we are having a session today to evolve that leadership style. When I used to hear these all leadership style, I used to get confused. Okay, there are these leadership style. Which is my leadership style? Which leadership style do I need to follow in my workplace so that I am most effective? It used to be so confusing. Understandable. But with experience, I did realize there is not one leadership style that can be applicable to all. Leadership is not about following a particular leadership style. Leadership is about getting into that mindset of a leader and refining and evolving those qualities of a leader. And that is exactly what we are going to do today. We are going to bring that mindset shift so that we develop those qualities, we develop those skills, we develop that mindset which helps us to create our very own authentic leadership style. And we have our own authentic framework, our own authentic methodologies, which we can apply in our personal and professional life, right? So that is how we discuss between traditional leadership and emerging leadership. Traditional leadership used to be mostly based on these leadership style, while the emerging leadership is more about developing the mindset of a leader. We just discussed that we all are leaders. We do take decision on our everyday basis. We do inspire people on our everyday basis. We help our society and ourselves to grow. We take risk, right? Don't we take risk? We do take risk. And that is what leader is. We take decisions, not for only ourselves, for also betterment of our co-workers, our colleagues, our children, our parents. So we all are leaders in our own way, right? They're looking at the ever evolving leadership of today's world. In fact, Harvard has also developed a study and a course called this Harvard Authentic Leadership Development Program. Authentic Leadership Development Program is ALD MBA course which is run at Harvard. And it is basically to evolve leaders into developing a mindset where they are properly skilled to get adjusted and adaptable to today's ever-changing world. See, we have always kept leadership attached to only our professional side. No. A leader is not only professional. It is applied in your personal life as well. Only if you are a leader, you will take the initiative. Only if you're a leader, you will help other people grow. Only if you're a leader, you will inspire, you will motivate people, right? And that is what this study focuses on. Now, as per this study, they take success as progress. And also, this is taught in these leadership programs that success is something which brings progress for yourself and your people you're surrounded with, and also it brings a positive difference into your own lives and lives of your colleagues, the organizations you work for, your family, and your society, right? So this authentic leadership development skill is what we are going to speak about. The nuances of that I will be sharing with you, right? So for leadership, we need to develop the mindset of a leader. That mindset of a leader needs to be developed. Leadership is all about the inner game. Let me share this with you. There are two people who are going in a car, right? Two different people going in their own respective car. They're going to their offices. And suddenly they get stuck in the traffic. And by no means that traffic can ease out in any ways. There is no way that they can reach their office on time. However, they do not have any important meeting to attend to, right? Now here, the first person, he's all calm and collected, listening to some soothing music in his car, waiting for the traffic to ease out. He's very well aware that if he becomes tensed, he will start feeling frustrated, and it is not going to serve his well-being. At the same time, it is not going to ease out the traffic in any way. However, the second person is constantly honking the horn. He's abusing the drivers. He's shouting, he's screaming. He's all agitated. And somewhere he has this inner assumption that this traffic is the reason for his stress. Now tell me something. If our traffic or the inner world is the reason for our stress, then stress has to be experienced equally by both the people. How can the reactions be different? Right? That means, if the stress is due to the external world, then obviously the stress has to be experienced equally by both the people, right? That means that stress is because of our inner world, what is going on inside us. That is the reason for the stress. Correct? So that is why our inner world has to be taken care of in order to take care of our qualities, our mindset to be developed as a leader. Okay. So for that, I have I'm giving you a framework. I call it SNACK so that it is easily understandable and it is easy to remember also by all of you, right? So S stands for self-awareness. N is for nurture the art of emotional intelligence. A is to activate the power of growth mindset. motivate others, and K is to know the attitude of gratitude, right? So we will start with awareness.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. We have a question from the center of Dr. Narinder Sharma.
Yes, yes. Just give me a second. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, your mic is already unmuted. You can just ask your question.
Yes, good morning, ma'am. I just want to know more about the second point, the nurture the art of emotional intelligence. How could it be?
Okay. So yes, Dr. Narendra, we are slowly going to get into those points. Just we are slowly going to get. We are going to discuss all those points in an elaborate way. We'll come there.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now, first of all, let's begin with now this awareness. Let's begin with knowing that what are the qualities that you think are needed to become a good leader. Okay, let me tweak it a bit. Just idolize a person you think is your ideal leader, or you really appreciate and respect that person as a leader. And let me know what are the qualities that you think are needed or are there in that person for him to be in that leadership position. Come to the chat boxes, please. Anybody you can think about. Yes, motivator, team building. That's right. Anyone else? You must have idolized few people. Yes, energetic. Of course, energy is needed. Do you feel confidence is needed for a person to be leader? Yes, harmony. Harmony between you and yourself and you and your team is, of course, one of the very important components for us to be good leaders. Optimistic, yes, positive thinking, very true. You should be able to inspire, you should be balanced, right? You need to be empathetic. Do you think compassion is needed for a person to be a good leader? Great. So now these are the qualities, be a motivator, team building, energetic, harmony, optimistic, empathy, right? To become good leaders. Now just let's reflect to ourselves and just think, what do we think? Just you can, if you want to share in the chat box, is up to you, or you can just make a note on your notepad and just take a minute to reflect back on yourself and think, what are the qualities which are in you for you to be good leaders? What is there in you which makes you a good leader? You already know that, okay, these are the qualities you need for you to become good leaders. Now let's come to ourselves and just think of certain things, certain qualities which we think are there in us for us to be in that leadership role. Give me a thumbs up once it is done. Anybody wants to share on the screen? What are the qualities they think are there in them that makes them a good leader?
I'll request all the participants to be please a little more interactive and talk to the source person, please.
Okay, understanding, problem solver, take time, the initiative, patient. Great. Great. Yeah. Empathetic, yes, empathetic. Yes. Okay. So we have, all these things, patience and empathy and compassion and motivator, team building, right? Now we have a picture that, okay, these are the qualities that is there in the person that I think is a good leader. And these are the qualities I have, right? Now, the qualities you have in you that we just reflected back is where we actually are. And the qualities you think needs to be there in a person who wants to be a good leader is where we ought to go. Now, bridging this gap between where we are and where we ought to go is what is called awareness, right? Awareness in life is very important. We cannot possibly achieve anything in life unless and until we are aware, right? Awareness is the initiation point. See, we all use mobile phones, right? And we are so pro with it. Now, why are we so pro with our mobile phones? Because we are aware about how this technology works. We are well versed with it. So if you really, really want to develop all those leadership qualities in yourself, you need to have that awareness, that manual of yourself, right? You need to have that awareness. Now, again, I would want all of you to engage in one small activity, and that is tell me something. Who do you think are the three most important people in your life? I want you to just quickly write on the chat boxes. Who do you think are the three most important people in your life? It doesn't take that much of time to write three important people in your life. It has to come instinctively, right? Parents, mentor, and friends. Great, Vijita. Mother, daughter, husband. Okay. Family, friends, and partner. Great. Fine. Aren't you important to yourself? Yes, there Utpala comes. Aren't you important to yourself? You need to be first person who needs to be the most important person in your life, right? Unless and until you are you value yourself, how are you going to value others? Tell me something. Can a leader be a good leader unless and until he loves his team? No. And can you love your team unless and until you love yourself? No. So you need to be first and foremost that important person, and you need to be aware of yourself, your strength, your abilities, your weaknesses, your capabilities. If you want to know the strength, weaknesses, capabilities, qualities of your team member. So the point I'm making here is that awareness is very, very important for us to develop the leadership qualities, right? Awareness of our inner world. You can take a screenshot of it and kindly reflect on these thoughts if you want to develop the mindset of a leader. First of all, we need to know that what is that you need to be a good leader? What are the qualities you want to develop? And do you have those qualities in you? How do you develop these qualities? What do you do? If you want to be more energetic, what you need to do? You need to work on your physical health, your mental health, and your emotional health. How are you going to do it? You're going to get into a healthy routine. Be very mindful of what you consume, how you eat, what are your eating habits, what is your lifestyle, what is the quality of your sleep, how is your emotional balance, how is your mental balance. And in order to achieve that, you will make a routine, make a strategy to incorporate mindfulness and meditation into your lives, right? So all these things you have to work upon. Leadership is not a position, it is action, right? And also, once you're aware of, okay, these are the qualities that I need to develop for me to be a good leader. How do I develop these qualities to be a good leader? You have strategized it, fine. Then what are the barriers which are stopping you to follow it through an action? And how do you overcome those barriers? So you need to think about it, right? And all of this is only possible if you are aware. Aware in terms of, first of all, mind, then body, and then heart. Now, how you become aware in terms of mind? You become aware in terms of mind when you give attention to your inner monologue, right? When you give attention to what is there, which you are saying to yourself. Which are those thoughts? Are your thoughts negative? Are your thoughts critical? Do you have negative thoughts? What are those thoughts? So that is how you become aware. Because the way our mind works, that is the energy that we spill to our team as well. And then be aware of your bodily sensations. Whenever we are in stress, our palms, they become sweaty, our jaw, it becomes totally clenched, our heart rate gets elevated. All of these things happen, right? We feel nervousness in our stomach. So we need to be very, very aware of our bodily sensations. What happens if you're aware of your bodily sensations? For example, you suddenly feel heaviness in your head and you feel that your heart rate is elevated. And then you get into the awareness that, okay, fine, I'm getting annoyed. But today there is an important event to attend to. Today there is an important meeting to attend to. I cannot afford to get annoyed. So the awareness helps you to bring in that shift in your thought process. And that will help you to be more compassionate, to be more authentic, to be more understanding, and to be more, I would say, decisive as a leader. And then awareness of your heart. What do you feel? What do you love? What moves you? What are the things that you truly, truly feel about? What are your values? In life, if every gesture, every action, every behavior of ours is aligned to our values, we come across as more authentic, as more trustworthy, and as more decisive people. And those are the qualities that are needed for a leadership, right? So we need to have the awareness in terms of our mind, in terms of our body, and in terms of our heart. Got that? Anybody wants to ask anything? Anyone? Great. So awareness will help us to build in that mindset which is needed for us to become good leaders, right? Now comes to the second component of leadership, that is nurture the art of emotional intelligence. Now we all are emotional beings, right? We all are humans, and we are humans because, and that is the reason we feel emotions, right? We are kind of guided by our emotions. Our emotions impact the way we behave, the way we perceive things, and the way we take actions. Agreed? Now, emotional intelligence is a very key component in developing a leadership mindset. Emotional intelligence is all about how you learn, you develop, and you implement your emotion to the best in your professional and personal setting. Emotional ability is all about understanding the needs and the feeling of your environment as well as yourself and striking a balance there. Your ability to control and develop understanding your feeling as well as the feeling of the other person is what emotional intelligence is all about. You know, there had been a survey which has been conducted by the Levo Institute. I mentioned it in the slide, which says about 80% of the workers, they view emotional intelligence as a very key component in developing their careers. And 87% of the millennials feel that they're motivated by emotionally intelligent leader. Right? Emotions, we basically are driven by our emotions. If you look back in your life, majorly the decisions you have taken in your life are due to your emotions, and later on we try to kind of give it some logical reasoning, but mostly we are driven by emotions. And our emotions are basically the byproduct of our thought pattern, our mindset. And that is why in the previous slide, I spoke about being aware. Because once you're aware in terms of your mind, body, and heart, you'll be able to counter your thought pattern. And yet that thought pattern is going to impact your emotions. And your emotions impact the way you feel. And the way you feel is the way you behave. And the way you behave is the way you take actions. And the way you take actions is what shapes your destiny, right? So emotions, they play a very, very important role in developing our leadership qualities. So here today I'm going to discuss two very important components of emotion. One is empathy and another one is active listening. Now, empathy is about the ability to relate and connect with people with the viewpoint of inspiring and empowering them. Empathy is to understand the feelings of other people. An empathetic person is the one who not only understands, who not only listens to listen, but listens to understand. Now, mostly all of us, we listen just to reply, right? We do not listen to understand. An empathetic person, doesn't ask a wounded person, how are you feeling? He becomes the wounded person himself. There are multiple, like we discussed in the initial starting of the session, there are multiple ways to see a thing. So empathetic person is the one who does not let his thought or his perception gets clouded by some judgments or some preconceived notions. He listens with a sense of curiosity. Empathy creates curiosity, right? And this curiosity alone creates a space which helps us to grow. Now, how can we develop empathy in our leadership roles? So there is a rule called the platinum rule. We can follow the platinum rule, right? So golden rule is all about, we generally say that treat people the way you want to get treated. Do things for people the way you want them to do things. That's a golden rule. Platinum rule is treat people the way they want it. Understand the needs of the people. It is not that you think, okay, these are the things that are needed by a student. Empathy is also understanding the needs which are coming from the students. What does a student need from his perspective? That is what Platinum Rule is all about. Now, Platinum Rules helps us to create an atmosphere where students feel more involved, they feel the ownership, they feel more responsible because they feel more connected with you. They feel there is somebody where they can share their fears, their concerns, their challenges, and that creates a credibility for a leader. And that is what Platinum Rule speaks about. So try to apply Platinum Rule if you want to develop empathy in you. And then do not use I statements. Somebody enters in the class and you say, don't use statements. Somebody enters the class and it's for everybody, and suddenly we will say that, okay, you created disturbance in the class. That suddenly puts the other person on a defensive mode, and it just breaks the entire conversation. Instead, use I statement. I feel that your behavior today disturbed the entire class. Now, what does this I statement does? It helps you to explore your emotions, as well as it gives the spaciousness to other person to let you understand his point of view also. Right? So this use of I statement is very, very important if we want to kind of develop empathy in us. And then the second component comes is active listening, right? So try to understand what is being said along with what is not being said. There is a Japanese called Hansai, the rule of Hansai. Hansai is basically the ability to read the room. Once you enter the room, you should be able to catch the vibes of the room. How do you do that? By becoming more attentive, by becoming more aware. Silence speaks more than words, right? We have heard that. So just understanding the gestures, the body language, the eye movements, the hand movements, and the journal feel of the room. That is what active listening is all about. Listen to what other people say and listen with intent. We have been gifted 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen more, and in fact listen double than how much we speak. Mostly when somebody is speaking to us, we have this inner communication and inner conversation running into our minds. That is, I know it all. I know what she's going to speak next. I know I've heard this before. Or, oh, no, this is not true. We are not giving attention to what is being said. We are just giving attention to our inner monologue. Right? So listen with this intention to understand. So many times it has happened with us. We are talking to somebody and that person is in his own zone. He is in his own world, just texting, a mile in a minute. Why does this happen? And how does it make us feel? It makes us feel frustrated, and it make us feel angry. And that is true for the other person also. So involve yourself into active listening. Listen with an intent to listen, right? So for us to be good leader, we have to listen more, right? Then A comes for activate the power of growth mindset. So many times in life we feel that there are people who experience so many barriers and so many hurdles in life and still they flourish. And there are people who have been gifted with everything and still they can't make it big. There are people who kind of have so many adversities in life and so many hurdles in life and still they grow. And there are people who get anxious and who get stressed and who gets demotivated and they do not take any action on the tiniest of hurdle. Why does that take place. Why does it happen? Because the people who are not taking action, the latter, they experience something called fixed mindset. They're rigid in their thinking. They have judgmental minds. Now, for you to develop the quality of being a good leader, we need to cultivate a growth mindset, right? You flourish only when the growth happens. Otherwise, if you're fixed, you're stagnant. So, fixed mindset is the one where you say, I can't do it. I'm not good enough for that. I don't deserve that. I have no idea how to do that. First thing you see something and you say, no, मेरे से तो ये काम नहीं होगा, मैं ये नहीं कर सकती, ये तो मेरी रीच के बाहर है. You restrict yourself, you limit yourself, and this is what self-sabotaging behavior is. This is your inner monologue, like we spoke some time back. This is your inner voice telling you, nahi, nahi, you will not be able to do it. And your growth cannot happen if you do not step outside your fixed mindset, if you do not step outside your comfort zone. And comfort zone ke baad hamesha bahar, before the growth zone, before your growth happens, there is a zone that comes, which is known as fear zone, where the anxiety will happen, where you will feel nervous, where you feel demotivated, where you will feel less confident of yourself. But you have to keep doing, you have to be consistent. And for that, you have to bring that change in your mindset, from fixed mindset to a growth mindset. I can do that. And if I do not know how to do that, I will call somebody, I will take help from somebody and understand and know the way how to do it. I might not know how to do that, but I can always learn, right? Of from where I can get this knowledge, get this information, learn this skill to do. So that is how you change yourself from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And then, this word YET, yet, you can write it down, yet. There's great power in this word, the power of yet. I can't do it. I can't do it yet. There's a difference. Can you feel? I can't do it. I can't do it yet. This yet allows you and gives you the opportunity to learn and grow. Right? So you need to reframe and restructure your mental dialogues. I don't get, I can't do it. This doesn't work. I don't get it yet. I can't do it yet. This doesn't work yet. Right? So, on that note, I would like that you just think back in yourself and just think of at least two of your limiting beliefs. What are those two of your limiting beliefs which you feel are in you, and how you can restructure it? Just do it right now. Utpala, you have raised your hand. I will take your questions towards the end of the session.
Ma'am, that's my mistake. I actually wanted to answer a question then.
No worries.
It's still
No
like
worries. No worries. So just think of two of your any of your limiting beliefs, and then restructure and reframe it.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Navdeep here.
Yes, yes.
I
Yes,
am
Navneet.
always afraid about the results sometimes. And
Okay.
sometimes it's also about the planning, how to do this.
Okay.
The two disabilities I feel like that I do have.
Okay. 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 Just spark your question. I will definitely answer it towards the end. Yes. So just write down 2 of your limiting beliefs and just restructure and reframe it, and just think about it, that how it has made you feel. Once you restructure and reframe it, how has it make you feel? Can you idealize any of the leader who is not powerful, who doesn't seem to be powerful? Every leader is confident and powerful, right? It is because they have a positive and a powerful and an abundant mindset. They look for solutions, not problems. At the end of the day, they look for the solutions, not the problems. So you need to develop that powerful mindset, that growth mindset, right? Okay. So then comes the C of the snack, that is commit to motivate your team. No, there is a very famous author called Mark Twain. He said that the 2 most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you know your why. Why were you born? What is your purpose? Why are we doing what we are doing? Right? Why do we take any action in life? Why do we get motivated to take that action in life? Why do we get inspired? We take actions in life because of the meaning that is attached to that particular action, right? Like, we want our growth in progress. Giving you an example, we want our growth in progress. Why do we want our growth in progress? To make a better version of ourselves, to get a better job opportunity, to feel more calm, to feel more complete within ourselves, to live our life in a more purposeful way. What is the reason? And that reason is the motivating factor that will help you to take that action. The meaning that you attach to that reason, right? And whatever action you will take, that will help in taking the further actions. And that is how motivation takes place. So you need to motivate yourself as well as your team, as your organization, to know their whys. Why do you do whatever you do? You have a goal. Okay, I want good health. Why do you want good health? You want good health so that you can live your life in a more energetic way. You want good health so that you are able to experience and enjoy things better. You want good health so that you are able to work more. You want good health because you are fond of traveling and going on for treks, and that is what you'll be able to do. What is the reason you want good health? And then your whys should be very strong, and they should be yours, not influenced by other people, right? So the more you motivate your team and attach them and connect them with their whys, the more you will help them to take that action. So one needs to know your whys. Why do you get out of the bed every day? Why you choose these subjects, what you did? Why are you here and not working for some other institutes, right? So you need to know your whys. You need to know your reasons. And that is what is going to help your team also to build in an environment where they are motivated. And then we come towards the end, that is, know the attitude of gratitude. I can't stress more on this particular component to develop a mindset of a leader. Gratitude is something which gets us automatically and immediately into an abundance mindset. If you start counting your blessings, automatically you become that person. Okay, there is a situation, stressful situation, but these are my blessings, and from these blessings I can move forward. Gratitude is something which cultivates compassion in you and which brings happiness, cooperation, and well being in all of us. Right? We all feel nice when somebody says thank you to us, isn't it? But so many times in our own lives, we are so critical about our own self. So, first of all, like I said in the beginning of the session, have an attitude of gratitude for yourself. Start with yourself. Feel blessed for your own life. And when you end your day, you should think about what went well. WWW. Most of the times, towards the end of the day, we think on the things which did not go well. And as a result, we are all stressed for the next day. And you cannot think of solutions, you cannot be creative with a stressed mind. So at the end of the day, think of the things that went well. What went well, right? And after that, you need to be very thankful for your team members. Most of the times, see, everybody is doing a job and they matter. But most of the time, they are not aware of the fact that they matter because nobody tells them that they matter. Everybody, from a peon to a principal, matters. We need not look for a special opportunity to thank people for some special event. It can be a continuous process, right? Gratitude it has to be incorporated so much into your system that you're always feeling that thankfulness for even a person who is serving water to you in your office. And attitude of gratitude alone can help us to develop a mindset where we think of solutions and not problems all the time. We had discussed in the beginning that positive mindset is needed for being a good leader. The positive mindset can only come if we have this attitude of gratitude, right? So basically, mostly people think leadership is all about position, telling people what to do, being famous. But leadership is actually about consistent action, developing leaders' mindset, about awareness, emotional intelligence, right? All these qualities that we discussed today. But developing all these qualities will require consistency. That is what is needed, because you cannot achieve anything in life unless and until you are consistent. Just give me a second. You cannot achieve anything in life unless and until you are consistent, right? Brushing your teeth for 2 minutes every day is going to help you have a healthy gum, healthy teeth. Not visiting a doctor just once in a year. Working out in a gym for 9 hours in a day won't get you good body and good health. But walking every day for 20 minutes will. So consistency is the key. So be consistent with your action, have the awareness, develop the emotional component in you, help to inspire and motivate other people, shift your mindset from fixated ideas to become curious in life. Why is this happening? Instead of, why is this happening to me? And then always have the attitude of gratitude. With that, I come to the end of the session. Now we are open for the question and answer. Thank you.